Hi, my name is Sean, and this is my dating audio profile. I guess I like long walks on the beach. And
Sean, are you okay in there?
What is it, Mom?
Well, I just want to know if you're okay.
I'm fine. Stop bothering me.
Are you having troubles again?
No, I'm going poo. You always do this.
Don't do it in your pants this time.
I'm not. My pants are down. God.
Do you need me to come in there and
No,
rub
go
your back?
away.
I can make it better.
No, go away.
And this is a double shot of awkward.
Welcome back for another. Well, this week's been a lot more awkward, but no, never. Nothing's ever been more awkward than that right there.
I feel like we just got an awkward Snapchat into your childhood.
Yeah.
I think it's Snapshot.
No, I like his version better. Could you imagine if you could actually just send people 15 seconds of your childhood at a time, and they could look if they could look at them once, and then like that would be it. Like that would be actually kind of cool.
All right, here we go. What's your 15-second Snapchat into someone that you'd send to somebody from your childhood?
I think I would pick one of the moments that just immediately just jumped to me is I was biking on some back roads. And I took a huge jump, and I just ate it, and I landed on the left half of my face. And so if I could Snapchat anything from my childhood, it would be the 15 seconds of me getting full speed, taking off max air at like 12, and then like just grinding my face. I had like scar, like I had scabs on like Two-Face, Harvey Dent style for like an entire summer. I had to put like cream on that shit. That would be my 15 seconds, because I think it would terrify people.
I did the exact same thing except tubing. So going down on your belly, and then I hit a big bump, and then bam, and I rode down and actually skipped.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I was gonna say mine was tubing as well, but I was on the water, and I hit a wave, flew off about maybe 10 feet into the air, but I was going fast enough where I still managed to skip across the water and ended with a nice scorpion where my feet touched the back of my head.
Oh, jeez.
Is yours also a fail snap, Warren?
No, mine was just when I was a kid in my uncle's bathroom. I really liked whipped cream, and I saw some whipped cream on the counter. I was like, this is a weird place for whipped cream. Put it in my hand and ate it. Yeah, it was shaving cream.
And bonus content, if I could snap another moment from my life, it would be when I caught my youngest brother, who was like 4 or 5 at the time, with a pound of butter, and he was just like rubbing it into my mother's carpet in our living room. I kid you not. That carpet, it was toast because he rubbed the entire pound of butter into like a rug.
It was toast, wasn't it?
Ooh, bad pun.
Bad pun. Bad unintended pun. That'd be kind of cool if you could just do like 15 seconds of your life that you could just show once. Like your whole life is able to be broadcast once to one person.
Well, the other valuable thing as children, right, that you have seen a lot of videos is like the stupidest thing kids say. Mm-hmm. I remember I have aunts down in Phoenix, and we went on a family trip there, and they asked me where I lived, and I told them the bush. Canada, not our province, not our city, the bush.
I'm a wild man.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you said that, did you get that from somewhere? Like, did someone say, yeah, we live in the bush because it's up in Canada, and you just kind of ran with it?
I was 4, Sean. I don't know what my inspiration was.
I wonder if there's someone that was out there just like messing around with you and trying to make you say something stupid, because there's always that thing whenever you see like a kid, you're just like, I could say something to this kid right now that's not right, and they would probably remember that from there on out, and that would be some of those moments.
Oh, that's a great thing. What has somebody said to you in your childhood that you for a very long time thought was actually real?
That's good. And Alex is the bush.
Santa
I
Claus.
did. That wasn't inaccurate though. I lived in a trailer park in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, still.
Well, for me, I remember that we were walking downtown, well, my family and I, and there were lines for a crosswalk, and I asked my dad, what happens if people walk outside the lines? Like, why? Why are the lines here?
I see where this is going.
And he said, if you do that, the police are going to come and take Mom away. And so for many years, I would walk in the line.
And this is why Warren doesn't break traffic law.
Yeah, things like that.
There's a moment where Warren's a kid and he's really mad at his mom. Don't make me walk outside the lines.
May have happened.
What about you, Pat?
I actually can't think of anything off the top.
I got one. I got a really good one. It was a brilliant stroke, and probably the only brilliant stroke of parenting my father ever had. But the word he told me that the word for dick or penis was a kiki. And till I was like age 7, that's what I thought it was called. So anytime I was talking out in public, people just thought I was talking about jibber jabber. He knew what I was talking about. I knew what I was talking about. Nobody around knew what I was talking about.
That's smart.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That actually is pretty smart. I like, even thinking about it, I can't actively think of like a time where I'm sure it exists because you guys have met my father, so I'm sure it's happened on more than one occasion, but I can't think of something.
I've got more just sayings, like sayings that no one's ever heard, but apparently were popular when I was a kid or something. I don't know. Like I said, whipped like the family pig once. And,
Yeah, no one knows what you're talking about even still.
and see, my uncle told me that once, and I thought that was a normal thing. And then I dropped it in front of you guys, and you're just like, Sean, that's fucked up. No, it's just a saying. No, it's not.
Maybe we should ask a farmer. If there's any farmers listening, let us know if that's a thing. Because it may.
Why would you whip a pig? To tenderize it? Like.
Or to get it to go somewhere, maybe. I don't know if you're trying to move said pig. Pigs are pretty stubborn.
Okay.
But
I don't know pigs.
yeah, right. Like I don't. That's pretty much my knowledge of pigs.
You gotta whip them.
That's kind of similar to the segment that I was going to call interactive storytelling with Warren today. So I wanted to kind of bring this up and see what you guys would do in the situation, okay? So, you're a father, and you're in your basement of your own home. You live on the outskirts.
You're halfway there, Sean.
You live on the
live in a
outskirts of a small town, and you have a little bit of livestock, so chicken, goats, that kind of stuff. So it's like your goats are your pets, sort of thing. You look at your 3 goats as pets, as somebody would look at as their dog. Anyway, so over the past few days, you find that a few chickens are going missing. Okay, well that's fairly normal when you live on the outskirts of town. Anyway, so you're in your basement, and you get a call from your daughter saying,
Dad, you need to come upstairs. There's a cat attacking our goat.
Wait, I got one question. Why does my daughter sound like Sean's mom?
she was a little bit louder if you didn't notice,
Oh, okay.
and a little bit more coarse, so it didn't sound anything like Sean's mom,
It's
really.
not my mom. How dare you?
So you get the phone call from your daughter. You need to come upstairs. There's a cat attacking our goat. What do you do?
What do I do?
Personally, I punt the cat because I hate cats.
Okay, no. Like, be a little bit more specific. You're just gonna go. Like, what are you gonna
Okay,
do?
I'm in my basement.
You're in your basement
of my home.
Yeah, explain
My-
step by step what you're gonna do.
My goats are outside,
Your goats are outside.
and my daughter, who
Is upstairs.
by the sounds of what you're saying, is probably 5 years old.
Okay, she's 15 and home from school, sick.
Okay, is it a common cold? Is it?
Yes.
What is it? A regular house cat?
What time is it?
There is a cat attacking our goat. What do you do?
I go break it up.
I'm gonna grab my gun and run outside.
Okay, so you go to the gun cabinet and you unlock the gun cabinet
Yes. Well.
before assessing the situation or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you have a gun in your hand. What do you do?
Well, okay. First, we gotta chuck a couple bullets into it.
Okay, so you got bullets in your gun now.
Yeah.
Then what?
Then I run upstairs with the gun with the safety still on.
Safety's still on. Good, smart.
Then
Smart
I
man,
assess
like
the
that.
situation. What the fuck's happening with my
Okay,
goats?
so now that you're upstairs and you can actually see what's happening because you guys are not very
No,
good
I
at
s-
Shut
I
up,
s-
you're not good.
No, you're
Anyways,
just-
Well, how am I not?
No,
you can't
you're
just
good.
roll the
He's
situation.
Bad. Cat is bad.
Oh.
I
Okay.
just went upstairs. I went upstairs to break up the fight.
Okay, so anyways,
Why is
you get upstairs
The
and you
key
look
is-
outside.
The key to the story is that he said you're a farmer. The farmer's first reaction whenever any of the livestock are in danger is to grab a gun.
Right? Thank you, Sean.
why would I know that?
Because you're supposed to put yourself in the mindset of a farmer. Anyways, shut up. So you get upstairs and you look outside your door and you see that your pet goat is actually being attacked by a very large cat. It happens to be a lynx.
Well, that's misinformation.
No, man, I'm just telling you the story, just like it would have happened in real life. So now what? What do? You see a lynx has got your goat by the neck, it's latched onto its neck, got its claws, its teeth in there, your goat's trying to horn it off of it, kicking and thrashing all about.
Damn horny goats.
Yeah, what do you do?
I'd probably try and get into a better position so I can take a shot.
Okay, so what is your better position then?
Depending on if there's a fence or not.
Well, so let's say it's in your front yard.
Front yard?
Yeah,
And I'm on the country.
you're out in the country.
So there's no neighbors around.
That's correct.
I can take the shot freely.
Okay, so you walk out your door?
Yeah.
Okay, you open the door.
Before you start,
And there's 17 lynxmen waiting for you. It was a trap all along, Sean. You made the wrong move.
Wait,
They're offended by guns.
can I make a saving roll?
Okay.
This is just
The
like,
point is,
What is-
you open the door, the goat sees that you've now opened the door and decides to bolt it straight into your home.
But
No,
now
no. It's already caught by the throat by the lynx. This is
No,
done.
the other two
Yeah.
goats.
Absolutely. No, it absolutely runs into your house with
What
a
is-
lynx
No,
it's-
attached to its neck,
You know, no.
starts bleeding and screaming all over your
I'm
living
gonna stop you.
room.
What is your source material on this?
This happened outside Dinnerwick.
Okay,
Okay, hold on, let me finish. 'cause
Literally,
this has to
it
go
happened
somewhere.
this week. It happened this
Okay,
week. So you've got now a lynx attacking
Wait,
a
where's
goat
Dinnerwick?
inside northwestern Ontario.
If you had
And
dyslexia,
so-
that'd be a terrible town.
And so you've got this lynx attacking your goat in your living room. It's thrashing all about, bleeding all over the place, screaming,
First
kicking
of all,
shit over.
If that was me, I would have made the shot before the goat came in.
No,
But-
you wouldn't have.
See, okay, I'm going to pause you because you're making our decisions reflective on the end outcome of what happened to this poor.
Yeah, I'm guiding you in the story.
No, you're not
Absolutely.
guiding because I would have handled the situation differently. And so
What would you have done, Pat?
First, I would have gone upstairs to see what the cat was before I grabbed a gun.
Okay.
Right.
That's fine, which is what he did in the actual situation, yeah.
Right, because then you go back downstairs, then you get a gun.
Yes.
All right.
Which he
so,
did.
Right. If you treat your goats like pets, you know that they're going to try and make a bolt for safety because you probably keep them inside. So you would know that. That's contextual knowledge. You would know.
I don't think so, no. You don't keep them inside. They're goats.
But if
You said we treat them like pets, like any dog.
Dogs.
Yeah,
you
I know.
said hold on.
I'm going
as
off
far
of
as
your
feelings, as far as feelings.
No, but
anyways.
you didn't say that. You said
Whatever,
treat them like
whatever,
dogs.
okay.
So you know that, right?
So then what do you do?
So then you go to some place where you can make the shot without the goat bolting. An open window, a deck. You crack the door open like.
No, that doesn't make sense. Anyways,
Sorry.
it's a funny story coming out of northwestern Ontario this week. You guys suck. Whatever.
I'm still...
What happened, Warren? What did he ultimately do?
There was a lynx grabbed onto the neck of a goat. The goat ran inside the house and bled all
Which
over
is
the
just
place.
impressive on its own that it dragged a lynx via its throat.
I'm actually really shocked at that because I don't think I never would have thought a goat would have enough.
Depends on the type of goat.
No, this is interactive.
I don't understand how it's funny to you.
And you at home,
It is actually quite funny, and the guy was in his interview was laughing about it.
if you at home would, if you would let the goat in, or at least open the door to take the shot, tweet at us at #LetTheGoatIn.
So his daughter's trapped from her bedroom between the goat and the lynx now, right? So he needs to kind of move them out of the way so they get into the kitchen somehow, and he tells his daughter to go board herself in the bedroom. And so now, what's he gonna do? He can't shoot the lynx inside his own home because it's gonna put holes through his walls, through his floor. What if there's a ricochet kind of thing? So he tries to butt the lynx with the end of his gun, right? He has to hit it in the head 3 times before it lets its kind of grip go.
This guy's my new hero.
Right, and so now he's got a lynx separated from a goat inside of his home, in the living room, in the kitchen. There's blood everywhere. The lynx is bleeding. This goat's screaming and pissed off. His daughter's traumatized in his bedroom. And so what happens is he ends up making his way around to the kitchen, and now the lynx is kind of rounding on him almost. And so he's thinking, maybe I should take the shot. I don't know, I'm inside. He ends up taking it and swinging it like a baseball bat and just knocking the lynx out. He gets it, clips it perfectly on the head, knocks the lynx out. So he stops, takes a moment, starts breathing. Okay, we got this under control.
And then
lynx
an
is
army
totally
of lynx.
unconscious. And
He-
then
he
his
followed-
goat comes in, pushes him over, well, knocks him off to the side, and starts horning the unconscious lynx and kicking it some more, basically, trying to beat it up. And so he has to pull the goat off, tells his daughter to open the front door to let the goat back outside. By this time, the lynx has started coming to again, and so he has to hit it again, throw it out in the yard when the goat has gone away, shoot the lynx.
I was gonna say that's breaking like Zombieland rule number 2. Double tap.
Yeah.
Always double tap.
Yeah, double tap. But I thought it was a really funny story, and now he's got all of this. His stuff is all. Actually, what I think happened to the lynx is it tried before as it came to, it tried escaping his house by going through he had windows on the corner, and it just I guess thought that was an exit.
Hit the glass.
And so it jumped over the couch and
It
then
probably had
ran straight into the window.
It probably had mad concussion.
Oh,
Right, so it probably
and
wasn't
just
seen.
smashed into the glass window, knocking everything all over. So you can just imagine just the mess in this guy's house now.
I feel bad for him more than anything, and I feel worse for his daughter who saw the family animal get beat up and nearly killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's pictures of the goat. and you
That's a
can see
pretty
that
good
it
story.
was-
The problem with your interactive story was that it lacked realism, Warren. I mean, Lynxmen, seriously?
And Patrick, oh my goodness.
Have you guys ever been in a situation like that with an animal? Like ever had to be one-on-one against any animal?
Like a
we-
predator? No.
No, but we live in a pretty rural community. Like there's bushes, trees, there's deer you have to watch out on the roads when you're going to work.
Yeah, where I grew up, we had a particularly bad season for black bears in our neighborhood. So whenever we would go outside, we would always have to be aware of them.
Well, even like Alex, you grew up over by where I used to live, at my parents' place, right?
Nope.
Oh, I thought you always did. Never mind.
Nope.
And then Warren, you live out there now,
Mhm.
same basic area, and again, there's bush everywhere.
Yeah.
And back when I was a kid, we'd have black bears all the time.
Yeah.
Like literally, once a week you see a black bear. So when I'm 8 years old, walking down the street to my bus, which was probably solid not even 5 minutes, sorry, like 3 minutes of walking, nothing serious. Once a week you'd see a black bear.
A
Blair. So there was a couple times where like I was walking home and there would be a bear right in front of me, and I've been conditioned at this point to go like wave your arms and scare the bear off. Well, one time I did that exact thing. The bear slams both its feet on the ground. That second, you're screwed. So my first instinct was, of course, I got to run, and I bolted it right into the neighbor's house. They had a little porch, so I popped in. I was absolutely fine. The bear chased me a little bit. So scariest moment of my life. But I looked back on the road, and there was a little cub on the other side of the road. I just hadn't noticed. So I actually got in between a mother bear and her cub.
That's why you got.
I shouldn't be alive right now.
Well, maybe.
That's pretty scary, man. Good
Yeah.
for you.
I went one-on-one with a duck once. I was 8. Duck won.
We have very different childhoods.
Grew up in the city, man. Actually, I have 2 family lakefront properties, so I spent a lot of time
Battling ducks.
out in the wilderness. But at the places they're not very. The animals don't come around very much. So I've seen bears, I've seen wolves, but always from the comfort of my own safety. I've never had to go be trapped in a situation. But I did get an angry duck once, and it flapped at me and pecked at me. I was a little kid though, so if I ever see that duck again, revenge.
At university, the geese were pretty bad where I went.
Geese are aggressive.
Yeah, they really are.
They're territorial.
But it's also really sad because they mate for life. And I remember one time a friend told me that he saw that his friend was pulling into a parking lot and killed one of the geese.
Oh man.
And it was one of 2 geese, so that they were mated. And for the rest of the week, the girl who had hit the duck, or the goose rather, saw the other goose just sitting there all week.
Oh,
where
it's a
its
heart-wrenching story.
mate passed away. So sad, eh?
That's
That's
awful.
sadder than Up.
Yeah, well, imagine how you'd feel for killing the spouse goose and then seeing the one there for the whole rest of the week as well.
I'm glad to know that all your friends aren't home wreckers, Warren.
That's true. It's true. Not all of them are. This was actually a friend of a friend, so.
Oh, okay.
The Are You Afraid of the Dark method. I like it. Happened to a friend of mine. So, what else happened to you guys this week? Anything cool, interesting? Alex, you had something to say and I interrupted you?
Pretty sure that wasn't Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Wasn't it?
No, it was like a cartoon.
TV show.
Oh, no, it was
Yeah.
Tales from the Crypt Keeper, wasn't it?
No,
No.
No, it was.
it was like
Some
a
late night show.
YTV show.
Like sit around a campfire, throw the magic dust on the campfire.
That was Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I feel like
That's what you're describing is Are You Afraid of the Dark, but that's not what.
No, it was submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. That's what they used to say.
Yes.
Well, that's a weird tangent.
Oh, it used to have the roach. That was
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
that?
It was a cartoon. I don't know. It was terrible.
I remember the one story that always caught me on that one was I don't know why it was Freaky Stories. That was it, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
They had the one story where this girl had eaten like a bean burrito, and she had gotten into the car for her date, and I guess when the date closed the door, she let out the nastiest fart of her life. The guy opens the door and like, oh yeah, we just have to drop my parents off, and the parents are in the back just like dying from the fart. That was actually on the Freaky Stories.
That's just
They-
more embarrassing
they had
than it is freaky.
They had a fart story.
Was it a haunted burrito?
I also don't understand why you'd fart inside of a car which your date is just about to walk into.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a not that great of a story, but
No.
that's the only one that stuck with me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, those shows were really good, except for that one episode.
Okay, so I've got a question then for you, and answer completely honestly, okay? Let's say you walk into a store, right? And you see there's a wallet on the floor. What do you do? Answer honestly. I won't judge you.
I open it, see if the ID matches someone in visible eyes, like, you know what I mean, like visible sight,
Right.
and then I'd probably give it to the cashier.
Okay.
If
Like-
I'm in the public eye, I would grab it and give it to the cashier saying someone dropped it and let them deal with it.
Okay.
But honestly, if I was alone, I'd open it up, take a quick look through it just to see if there's anything recognizable. I don't think I'd take the cash, but
Okay.
I found tons of wallets doing what I do,
Yeah.
and my first instinct is always to call someone else over,
Mm,
and then you have a witness.
that's smart.
And then, because like I just found this wallet here, let's look at it together.
Yeah.
Whether there's money or not. Now there's two people there, and if it's a stranger, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I guess I just, I believe in, I'm sure there's a lot of people in the world who would look through it, take the money and go, but I don't know, I believe in karma, and if I ever lost my wallet, I'd hope that it would be turned in with everything intact.
well, that's happened to me. I lost my wallet when we went out drinking one night, and it came back to me about 3 months later, and all the money was gone out of it. But everything else was perfectly intact. So someone just took the cash.
That's fine, I guess.
I
I
mean-
mean,
I think that's an acceptable loss. If I lost my wallet, I think that would be an acceptable trade-off. Giving back all my IDs and my credit cards.
yeah. Okay, well, here, let me change the question a little bit then. Let's say you walked into the same store and saw a $50 bill lying on the floor. What do you do?
Ooh.
In a store, like a Walmart, or like
Right
a,
at the entrance of a store.
score.
I take it.
yeah, ground cash, man, ground score.
Unless I see someone scouring the floor looking for something
Right.
really obvious.
Yeah,
That,
I'd probably do pick it up, look around, see if anyone looked at me.
and now today is a great day.
Yeah.
although there are tons of videos on the YouTube now setting people up for situations like this. Basically, they plant money or plant something and then accost the person, saying, "Why didn't you turn it in?" or whatever, which I think is an unfair situation.
Oh, totally. And I'd agree with both of your guys' genuine outcomes. The reason being for the money is because there's no identification tied to it. There's no way that you can return it to somebody who you know is the rightful owner
Right.
of it. And if you bring it to the cashier, as like a lot of people, if you ask them that question, particularly in a job interview or something like that, if your interviewee
Yeah.
asked you, or your interviewer rather, if your interviewer asked you that question, you know, a lot of people would say, "Oh, I'd give it to the cashier and see if they can find out if whoever's it is." Well, no, like that, you wouldn't do that. You would pocket the money, right? Because why wouldn't the cashier just then pocket the money, right? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. So it's just interesting to see. I'm actually surprised neither of you said that, or you know.
Well, you asked for an
any of
honest
you.
answer.
Yeah, which is great. I'm glad that you guys.
It's happened
you know,
to me.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I've been at a golf course. We went to get some food, and there was $20 on the ground. I looked around. There was no one there. I took the money.
Perfect.
An
Yeah.
extra hot dog.
This is actually one of my big problems with some job interviews where they ask a set of generic questions that are like that, because I feel like there is a obviously right answer to that question in a job interview, but then is the trick to it that you answer honestly or that you answer with what they want to hear? That's my issue with those questions in a job interview. As
I think it would be answer honestly for most situations. But
I've been in a really weird job interview. It was definitely for some sort of pyramid scheme, and I now realize that. But during the interview, me and another guy who works on the podcast, Mitch, we were both in the interview together for some reason. We were interviewing together for the
They
same
both
job.
wearing tuxedos.
that's how it makes it a pyramid. There's more of you on the bottom
Yeah,
than there are on the top.
absolutely. But they started asking a bunch of questions like, "Cool, you're basically hanging out with us for the day. You just, be cool, that cool thing." And they said cool a lot. But the last two questions they asked were, "How would you move a mountain?" and "Why are manholes round?" So my answer was that so they don't fall through. That's pretty obvious. And Mitch's answer was, so if Captain America loses his shield during a fight, he'd be able to grab one and use that as a temporary shield.
Mitch, that is a solid answer when you're listening to this. I approve.
And they asked us to make up some answers, and we did. And yeah, that was just a bad experience. Have you guys ever had an interview like that?
I've
they
never
ask
been
stupid
interviewed
questions?
for a pyramid scheme, so no.
it's true. I've never had a crazy question like that.
I just thought that was weird.
I got a job over the phone that was for a pyramid scheme. I just got offered a job, and I thought that was really weird, and so I was curious and showed up, and it was for selling knives. And then I got the details, and then
You have to buy the knives up front,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and then
Yeah.
it's on you to sell them.
yeah.
Yeah, no, not my style of job, thanks.
Is that really a thing still?
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't
Oh,
think
yeah.
that.
Good old Cutco.
a few.
Vector marketing.
Yeah, a few.
College Painters Pro or whatever
Yeah, a
does
few.
that as well.
There's a few companies that target students for that principle.
Be your own boss kind of thing.
You front your money. You sell whenever you want, whatever you want, and
They train you, but I think you have to pay for the training, and then they cut ties pretty much, and then you're off starting your own business or selling your own product.
yeah. And if you need inventory, call us.
Yeah, pretty much.
So after I got this house, I started getting a lot of the stupid spam mail, and I never noticed how much you actually get. There's a lot of weird scams out there, and I can't believe people fall for it.
Oh yeah.
It's just unbelievable. So I think what I wanted to do was I wanted to actually call on them through Skype and just see what it would sound like and what they say and what they do, because I think that's pretty interesting.
I got the Microsoft call the other day. You know.
Oh, you got
know-
a virus on your computer?
Yeah. Well, it was like, it was something to that effect. The guy's like, "Hi, I'm from Microsoft. I believe I'm speaking to the primary owner of your family computer," and like I stonewalled the guy by being like, "Our family computer's a Mac." And he's like, do you you must have a laptop or something on that network. And I'm like, okay, at this point I know it's a scam, right?
Yeah.
Like, nope, all Macs. And you could tell the guy scrambled for a second. He's like, oh, I guess we have the wrong contact information. And then he said, this is so and so. He gave my father's name, and at this number I'm like, yep, but I don't know how you got that since we don't own Windows computers. You do work for Microsoft, right? Click. The guy hung up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You had something similar happen to you, right, Warren?
Oh yeah, I picked up on it right away. I knew exactly
Yeah.
what it was, right? And so because I'm a little bit techie, I can kind of talk the lingo, but also know how to piss them off. So basically, I just played completely dumb. And I just told the guy, what, I have a virus on my computer? How can you tell? Kind of thing. Oh, what do I need to do? Like, what is happening? He's basically telling me that your IP address is compromised, things like that. And just making up stuff using complicated tech lingo that doesn't make sense. Your IP address is... I can't remember exactly what he said, but it doesn't make sense.
Your
because
insecure IP address doesn't form the secure SSL connection it needs.
kind of something stupid, but less techy than that, actually.
Oh.
Anyway, so I'm just like, okay, what do I need to do? And so you need to go to your computer and go to the start and then go to the run function, basically. And he's really slowly walking me through this. I'm just eating dinner. I'm not actually doing this stuff. And I said, okay, all right, what do I do now? Okay, now type in these words. And so I did it, but I was like, okay, well, is it 90 or like 90, like Ninety? And, just things like that. No, 90. Okay, that doesn't answer my question though, is it? So Ninety, okay, click. Then nothing's working. No, sir. You need to put it at like 90. Oh, okay. Well, why didn't you just say so? Okay. So and then so I keep doing this super slow, right? And then so I do it, and he's like, all right, what do you see now? Well, nothing. Like nothing's happening. Well, you should see something, sir. No, I don't see anything. Okay, well, like he's kind of getting a little frustrated here. Okay, well, let's just start all over from the beginning here. And I've already wasted a lot of this guy's time. And then as soon as I smelt the least bit of frustration from him, I just immediately, you know what? I don't like the tone of your voice, and I don't like the way you're speaking to me. What do you mean I don't take the security of my own computer seriously? I want to speak to your manager. And so he said, okay, all right, sir, and puts me on a quick hold and gives me to the next guy in the booth over kind of thing. And so the guy in the booth basically says, like, all right, okay, so you hear I have a complaint about, so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I do, kind of thing. And then the guy's like, all right, well, about that thing that you need to write into your computer. And I said, you know what, if you're any kind of legitimate company and cared about your customer satisfaction at all, you would be more concerned about the complaint I have with your employee versus what is on my computer right now. And then I basically just scorned the guy.
I have a virus. Take this seriously.
Using some real like adult styled language and some choice words for him because I knew what was going on. And I was telling him that I knew what was going on, and then basically just hung up on the guy when he tried to give me any kind of rebuttal. And eventually that spanned in them calling me 5 times back, leaving me 5 different messages. I wasn't going to pick up the phone because I knew it was them. Leaving 5 different messages. And at one point, well, sir, you need to, you have a virus. And then he just kind of started laughing because he knew exactly, I called him out and then just hung up. And it was It was really great, and I felt good for making those crummy people feel bad.
There's a fantastic YouTube video of some guy who does the same thing. He realizes that it's a scam, and the guy's like, "Oh, are you the primary owner of this computer?" And he goes, "No. Well, I am gonna be. I'm robbing this house right now, and there's a laptop here, and I guess it's mine now." So the guy's like, "Pardon?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm robbing this house. Why'd you answer the phone?" "I don't know. I just don't like phones ringing." So like, is everything okay with it? Like, I don't want to take a computer that's a virus on it.
That's good.
That guy was, that was the best.
All right.
Do you ever get those random phone calls and just try and screw with them? Like, you obviously did past, like, any point I would ever try, but do you guys ever get those, like, Jehovah's Witnesses or anything like that?
Generally, and I know a lot of people aren't, but I'm actually pretty nice to Jehovah's Witnesses because they're just practicing their faith, and like usually they're actually pretty polite. If you tell them you're not really interested, they just walk away. So I'm nice to them. But anyone trying to scam or anyone like, and I'll do political service too, which is I know a lot of people will just hang up on those people too. But anyone trying to sell me something or scam, I either hang up on right away or I play with a bit and then hang up.
Well, the reason... Oh, sorry.
We used to actually have a Jehovah's Witness come by my place fairly often. And I would sit there and talk to him because he was just this sweet old 91-year-old man.
Yeah, he just loves Jehovah.
Yeah, and his son would drive him around town, and it didn't matter who answered the door, he could gear the conversation towards that person, you know. He'd ask me what I was doing. Oh, I'm in school. I was like, oh, you know, and he would just talk to me about, you know, what's going on and just chat me up for a little while. And then at the very end, he'd hand me the Watchtower and had, like, I don't know, he wasn't really pushing anything on me. It's like, oh, well, this might be worth a read. You know, such and such article might pertain to you. Give her a go, you know. But he was always a really sweet old man. I had never had any reason to be rude to him.
Yeah, again, generally they're good people that are they just love their religion.
Yeah.
And that's cool by me.
So the reason I wanted to bring it up just with the whole scamming thing was that my grandfather used to love talking to them. Like, it was, you know, he's a lonely older man, and somebody coming around every so often to say hi, that was great. Well, these two guys would always stop by, talk to him for a few minutes, and it was about once a week that they would do this. And we lived close to my grandfather, and we never got them around there, which seemed kind of strange. A little while later, they just decided to open the door, push him aside, and rob the place.
Wow.
Really?
So that's why I always try and get them out of my house right away. So, like, I have nothing against their religious views or anything. It's just that one experience kind of ruined it all for me.
Yeah. Well,
I was never in fear of that with a 91-year-old man.
No, that'd be great.
Yeah, shoes on the other, like proverbial switch.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. And well, I guess on top of that, I was reading an article today about
Good
HBO.
for you, Sean.
Thank you. I read big words, but I got past it. I read an article about HBO and how they have an episode about about Scientology. Apparently, it's airing on Sunday night. It aired. So
Is Tom Cruise gonna be in it?
Well, I don't know.
Is John Travolta gonna be in it?
I don't know.
You're losing me.
So I certainly hope so.
They'll probably be mentioned. But apparently they hired 160 lawyers to defend against this one episode being aired.
Why? Like, what's the...
Well, Scientology has a bit of a history of attacking people that question their religion.
Oh.
So, 160 lawyers versus Scientology.
So they're going to hit them
So they're taking a particularly biased view with this documentary?
I would imagine. Their stance with lawyers would suggest that they're prepared for litigation, yeah. I guess it'll be interesting to see what happens. I really don't have a...
Yeah, I kind of just wanted to bring
everything I know about Scientology I learned from South Park, so I don't know how accurate it is.
Well, I have it up on here. There was a Scientology attack.
I would imagine it's not very accurate at all.
Yep. What do you know about Scientology, Sean?
Not as much as I probably should to make all these things or claims about them, but apparently they once ran a smear campaign against an author, Paulette Cooper. I guess she was a critic against them, and they called it Operation Freakout, or so it was called by the press. The goal was, I can't read this thing. The goal of which was to have her admitted to a mental institution. Another, Operation Dynamite, used Cooper's fingerprints to send a bomb threat to a church.
That's aggressive, like, slander and framing. So HBO, I guess, is...
They're scared.
Well, I guess HBO's in there.
I don't know if they're scared. I think they're prepared. If they
Yeah.
were scared, they wouldn't air the episode.
Right.
is
Sony was scared of North Korea, and they pulled that movie.
Then they put it right back up.
HBO was just prepared. There's a difference.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that was a lot of kerfuffle over a very average, mediocre movie.
It was pretty terrible, actually.
I really enjoyed the first half, and then
The first 10 minutes of it with Eminem is great.
Yeah.
And then everything after that is kind of below average.
Yeah. I just think it's just disrespectful. I still feel that.
The North Korean,
Well, I mean, like, if you're gonna be disrespectful, you might as well be super funny.
Yeah, it's true.
And
Make
that
a joke
was
out of
definitely
it, but I think
lacking.
that makes it more disrespectful as well.
Yeah, but okay. So my issue, not my issue, but like, there's satire and everything, and a lot of things get really poked fun of a lot, like Scientology. Like South Park is the king of this, right? Like they do all kinds of stuff, and no one like really kind of brushes it off. So like, I find it interesting that so much was made about this one movie, because it's not like people haven't been making fun of North Korea for a while. It's not like it's a new topic.
Well, even like on Reddit, every week you see something like another smear campaign against North Korea, or you see pictures of Kim Jong Un
Doing something ridiculous. Yeah, like he's a dictator of a country.
They're gonna do it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I've got a couple questions then for you guys. What do you feel like if I were to give you two options with regards to challenges? Do you avoid challenges or do you embrace challenges?
Depends on how much time I have.
Depends on what the subject matter is.
Okay. Let's say, just whatever. Sean?
Do I have to put effort into this challenge?
That's going to be my third question.
Okay.
Is it something immediate? Like, okay, take a shot of this Tabasco?
It's just.
Or is it like, okay,
like
run
academic
in the marathon
challenges.
in 2 years?
Let's say something like
Yeah.
just a general challenge with something that you're trying to do.
I think the problem is that saying challenge is kind of broad.
Okay, well, let's say a challenge at work that you're dealing with.
Well, then I accept
Yeah,
it.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Kind of pay to take on the challenges of
Make
work.
money, right?
Okay. That was maybe a bad example. But anyway, okay.
You're
So you guys are
stumbling a little bit today.
very flippy floppy, I see.
No, I think you're
Anyways,
flippy floppy.
obstacles. Do you give up easily when faced with an obstacle, or do you persist in the
Are
face of
you
obstacles?
interviewing me because Captain America does need manholes? That's my answer to that. Oh, this is serious. Okay.
Yeah. Do you give up easily in the face of obstacles, or do you persist?
I persist.
I persist.
Like, are you stubborn?
I'm still trying to get through this interview, aren't I?
Yeah, like seriously, like this
Okay.
is this is rough, dude.
Do you see effort as fruitless, or do you see it as a path to mastery?
I see it fruity.
I want to ask you questions when we're done this stupid thing.
Warren, would you
You-
jump out of a plane for $100,000?
Yes, I would jump out of a plane with a
Should've brought a
proper
parachute, you goof.
on it.
Okay, would you jump out of an airplane for $200,000 with no parachute?
No, why would I do that?
Okay.
$200,000.
I should have asked more questions because the plane's on the ground.
Anyways, so my point is there's a new study that came out about mindsets, and there's called a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, and it depends on what your view is and how you want to look in the face of others. So a lot of people will actually desire to look smart, but not actually. They feel that their intelligence, their innate intelligence, is not something that they can change, and so they just believe that they have a certain potential and that they can reach that potential, and then that's it, right? Whereas people with the growth mindset, they have a desire more to learn and to become better, and they don't see that they have a potential or anybody has a potential. They just it's not calculable. You can't. It is what it is, and then you learn, and that's why I'm asking these questions about, do you give up in the face of challenges? What do you do in obstacles, kind of thing? How much effort are you going to put into something? And so it also leads to different kinds of success as well, right? So a good question is like, what do you feel when you see others succeed? Do you feel jealous of them, things like that? Do you feel threatened by other people succeeding who are similar to you? Or are you finding lessons in their success? Do you find that there's a learning experience from people who can succeed?
I become enraged.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I try not to pay attention to everyone around me, especially professionally. I just find it's not productive. The amount of time you could spend like looking at someone else's successes and failures is just time you could be working on your own shit. So, fuck it.
Fair enough.
You do you, buddy.
Yeah. No, that's cool. It was just interesting because I read the study and it was pretty neat stuff. If you're interested in it, it's Dweck's mindset.
I think it's more, at least for me, it's more if I can see somebody else that's progressing faster than I would, and I feel like I could do better. I think I get just frustrated with myself. So, like, I would feel like I need to work on myself at that point.
So would you say that you're a fixed mindset then?
I wasn't really listening to the first part, so I don't know.
Is there a third category for people who have potential?
That was a joke. Yeah, it's more of a fixed mindset.
Sure, cool. Yeah, because when I read it, I thought about you and my friends, and like, all right, I think Sean's fixed. I feel like just interesting kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think the big thing, like, I feel like I have ADD when it comes to certain subjects and topics, but others I can fix on and just do. Like, I'm trying to speedrun Mega Man right now, Mega Man X2, and I feel just focused on that to the point where I don't want to give up until I'm at least a minute away from the world record.
Very, very cool. Yeah, and you beat the world record from 3 years ago, so
Yeah.
that's pretty awesome.
And then when you came over, I figured out how to skip 15 seconds of the game.
Yeah, you did.
So I'm getting better. But if it's something I'm not interested in, no, I could not care less. I don't care if other people succeed or not. Doesn't matter.
I still say you should have a heckler in the background.
You want to stay over for a while?
I will heckle you.
Nice. Okay. I actually would like to see that. I think that would be really funny.
We'll see. We'll see if you think it's really funny in 45 minutes.
Yeah, when you drop 2 minutes on your time.
Hey, if I can beat the entire game crying, that would be some sort of record.
Story of my life, really.
So I guess the other thing we wanted to bring up was Top Gear. Because I don't know if
They fired that guy.
Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah, that guy. It was on the news.
Yes, they did.
And they said it's because he's an asshole.
Well,
Oh,
he is.
yeah.
It's just generally kind of known that he is.
Slightly racist.
But he's he's one of the 3 faces of one of the most popular programs in the world.
You even say it's the most popular based on numbers.
I think The Voice is actually the most popular.
Really?
By numbers.
Yeah,
Oddly
actually.
enough.
Isn't The Voice like there's multiple versions of it though?
Yeah, but that's why I think if you cover all of the voices, I think it's
Yeah,
the
but
most
that's-
popular program. Because The Voice America is not going to be popular in
Australia.
Australia,
But
right?
The
The
Voice
Voice
Australia
Australia will be popular in Australia.
I don't know. The Voice New Zealand really blew up lately.
But you see what I mean? Anyway,
But
point
then
is they
that's
fired
like saying-
Jeremy Clarkson, which is huge because the show's gonna die without him more than likely.
Well, James May and Richard Hammond, they both said that they're not going to come back unless Jeremy Clarkson's contract's renewed, and BBC won't renew it.
I know. Yeah, I didn't realize Richard Hammond did as well. But James May, they did they caught him up at his house, and he kind of answered questions about it. And he's choosing not to renew his contract as well because and his quote was, "Well, I think he's a bit of a knob, but I quite like working with the man." Kind of thing. And so it's really interesting. It's nice to see that kind of solidarity, and hopefully they make their own kind of spin-off series because it's going to be wildly successful regardless whatever they do.
I think devil's advocate, though, people get fired from long-standing TV shows all the time. Talk radio and the American morning talk TV shows happens all the time, right? They're always replacing older co-hosts on Good Morning America with new co-hosts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not like this is like there's no precedent set.
No, especially because he punched the producer.
Right, so.
But think about it this way. Let's say you're watching a hockey game, and you really like this one player, and the whole rest of the team you're not really caring about.
And then he punches a guy in the back of the head and then cripples the guy for life.
I was going to say,
let's
Sean,
forget
let's
him.
flip this scenario on his head. You walk into work and you punch your boss in the face, and then your coworkers all stage a walkout because you punched your boss in the face.
No.
Are you in the right or are you in the wrong?
That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is the reason this show is so popular, at least a good portion of the reason, is this guy. The reason the show is going.
I'm saying the reason why your business is so successful is because of you.
Oh, thank you.
So are you saying that BBC shouldn't fire him?
No, I'm saying there should be some sort of, some other way to go around this issue.
Well, it's
one
to
or
keep
the
him
other, right?
Yeah,
You
it's
either get rid of the producer.
Oh no, I'm not saying I have an answer. I'm saying there's got to be some other way because without that, the show is going to die.
Okay,
What would be your option then? What would
He's
be your
hired.
proposal?
You keep him as a host, or you don't keep him as a host.
And
It's
I
one or
think-
the
Well,
other.
on top of this, what's probably going to happen is there's going to be another show that's going to offer him the job, and the other 2 guys are going to come with him. So Jeremy's going to be back on TV on this other show that's going to gain a lot of popularity because of this issue.
Yes.
So
So
what
are you
they
saying
should be doing?
keep him as a BBC
Yeah,
host?
I would say him keep it as
Problem
on
is though,
BBC.
I think that if you did that, the producer would file a lawsuit.
Cut
And
his pay.
probably.
Not to mention you have an
I
integrity
disagree.
issue, right?
I disagree. I think he deserves to be fired.
Yeah,
and
I
I
think
think as soon as he did it, he knew that he should be fired for it.
I think they didn't have a choice.
And
Like,
as the BBC, like, you need to set an example. It doesn't
just-
matter how high in the company you are. You can't treat people like that.
and you can't have talent punching other coworkers in the face.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not like
And
acceptable.
so, it sucks for everybody involved. Obviously, the BBC doesn't want to cut ties with them, but you kind of have to in that situation.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that at all. I'm saying there's got to be another way to look around it because the BBC
No, there is no
the
other
BBC
way.
has to look at their number value.
Yeah, there is no other way, though. Like, you need to cut them loose. You have to.
Yeah, I think you're. I think
Or you
that's
don't.
right.
It's,
What
it's
other
one-
way is there, Sean?
I don't know. I'm
That's-
not in the TV industry.
But there is no other way, Sean, is
What
we're
you're saying is
telling
they
you.
have to go another way, and
Sean,
There's two
I
ways.
think-
There's two paths here. You go right or you go left. There's no.
I don't think
gonna
this-
Blaze down the middle.
I'm not gonna turn around.
I don't think this is a I'm gonna do both kind of situation.
yeah.
I guess I'll have to do both kind of
No,
situation.
Severely reduce his pay, have it so that the producer and him can't be in the same room. I don't know.
I think the option what probably we don't know is what also how he is around everyone else, and what the producer said to them is like, well, if you don't do this, I will be filing this lawsuit, this grievance, whatever it is. And it would be bad publicity for the BBC to keep a person who's punching people on their staff. Like, you can't.
I guess it.
And
should
there's
be-
been a precedent within BBC before, right? Like they, the Misfits was wildly popular in the UK, and they fired one of the main characters because she kept making racial slurs to one of the other main characters, but as well as people working on the set.
Yeah, and that show was actually pretty good.
Well, that's
I
the
like
reason
it.
Chevy Chase left too. Was he thought the show was getting a little too racist? So
Oh, yeah, he thought Chevy Chase thought that
Community.
his character
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
just becoming too stereotyped in one very awful bad role.
Yeah.
I can understand. I respect him for that because like
The
some of the
worst
stuff
part-
Pierce Hawthorne has said over the years.
The worst part too is right at the end when you know he was kind of leaving and you know that he freaked out on the writers producers. He got a lot better as a character. Like it was more relatable, I guess, to audience members.
I mean, the old man, extreme racist in a community college wasn't relatable to many people.
Well, they put him up to like Chang.
Yeah.
They had him hanging out with him, and then they had Chang making the racial jokes and that sort of thing. And Pierce Hawthorne was just like kind of iffy about it. He
he's
didn't really
got a
play
new
all
show
that.
coming out. Not Pierce Hawthorne, the other guy, Chang. Kim, what's his name?
Kevin Young.
Is that his name? Yeah.
That sounds.
No, it's
No.
Ken Chung.
Ken Chung.
Ken
Yeah, he's
Chung?
got a new.
It's
He's got.
Ken, right?
He's got a new show coming out where he plays a doctor, which is interesting because he has his MD.
Yeah, he gave up his life and career as a doctor to become an actor.
Yeah.
Really interesting guy.
Like Warren.
Just
And
like
you,
that.
Patrick.
I've seen him naked a little too many times for my personal taste.
Did you party with him or something?
No, he's just naked in every role he plays.
You wanna fuck on me?
Oh, terrible.
He is a good actor though. Like when he was in was it the I was gonna say the 40-Year-Old Virgin. It's definitely not that.
Hangover.
Wasn't The Hangover. It was.
He was in The Hangover, Sean.
Oh yeah, he was in The Hangover. That's not the movie I was thinking of. Knocked Up.
No, with the doctor.
Yeah, he played as a doctor. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the OBGYN.
yep. Forgot I'm talking to the doctor here.
Anyway, with that said, I'm Warren.
My name is Patrick.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Alex. This has been a double shot of awkward.
Remember to follow us on Twitter at 2shotofawesome.
Or visit our website at doubleshotofawesome.com.
I love you much.